New storage limits have been placed. The 200 inventory limits have been lifted, but now you will have storage type limitations instead of individual ASIN limitations. And this is good for new sellers, but bad for a lot of other sellers. And by the end of this video, I'll explain everything and I'll share with you some options on how you can deal with these new limitations and how I plan to deal with the new storage type limits. Hi, I'm Robby. I'm a six-figure Amazon FBA seller, and since starting 8 months ago, I've made over $300,000. And in my channel, I share my very own Amazon FBA journey and also Amazon FBA tips and just anything that I'm learning from life. So if you like to follow my journey, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for when I release a new video every week. So here is the letter that Amazon has sent to us. I'll leave the link in the description below. But I received this on April 22nd, 10 p.m. Eastern, on April 22nd. So here's the letter. Basically, you can read all this for yourself, but this is basically the big thing that's going on. So effective April 22nd, 2021, Amazon FBA products will no longer be subject to ASIN limit quantity limits. Instead, restock limits will be set to a storage type level, offering you more flexibility in managing your shipments. So this is good for some and bad for others. I'll show you. So this is my IPI. So if when you go here, now you can see I have unlimited storage, but that doesn't really mean anything because now I have a storage limit amongst my products. So I was about to send in 11,000 products last week from China from my supplier because the production just finished. And then on April 22nd, I just got hit with a storage limit. It went down to 5,400 and I adjusted it. But then now, today, I'm looking at it now, it just dropped to 5,200. So now I have to figure out what to do with that. But what's going on now, so instead of you having individual ASIN limits, there are 4 categories where you will have limits amongst those 4 categories. So for new sellers, you could send in 1,000 units of each category, which is pretty good, I guess, for you guys. But this is what's going on. And I'm just going to talk about what to do with everything. Now, instead of each individual product affecting its own storage limits, especially slow products, it will not only affect itself, but all of your products across all of your ASINs. This makes it clear that Amazon does not want your slow moving products. They want products that are constantly moving, and this helps Amazon eliminate the bad products so they could always give their customers high quality products. And what this does for Amazon, this also keeps their warehouses free at all times for new products coming in. So this will actually be good for everyone in the end. So there will be no more delays with everything. I know that this may seem really bad for us, but I kind of understand where Amazon is coming from, and this is why it is really, really important to always learn to adapt to the game, because it's always going to change and we just have to learn to just adapt always. What does this do from Amazon forcing us to eliminate weak products and eliminating weak competition? This is actually going to up the competition, but I still think you could come out on top if you had the right mindset. A lot of sellers are going to quit because of this. I've read on a seller forum that many sellers are quitting because they're sick and tired of Amazon changing everything all the time on them and never caring about the sellers and only caring about their customers. So here is your time to come in and capitalize on it. This will be an advantage for the sellers that are willing to adapt to the new game, and this is going to weed out all of the weak competition. What happens if you send your inventory in that's over the maximum allowed? So it's too early to say, but from what I remember from the 200 inventory limit last year, when people tried to loophole the limit and just sent in the inventory anyway, 3 things happened to them. So 1, Amazon allowed it, or 2, it got rejected and it got sent back to them, or 3, Amazon accepted it but then charged them crazy amount of storage fees. I don't remember the amount that they charged per cubic foot, but it was enough for them to go broke. So what I would do is I would just play it by the rules. From what I hear right now, some people are getting letters from Amazon saying that they've canceled their shipment plans and they will be rejecting and no longer accepting their shipments. So if you want to risk this, then just send in your inventory. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe and play it by the rules just so nothing bad happens what you can do is just send in your best performing items and then just treat the new items as the 200 ASIN limit anyway. So just send in 200 units and then just drip feed it as you need more inventory. And now there's no more 200 inventory limits. So if you need more of one product and less of another, you could send in more of that other product. So that's pretty good. And for me to drip feed it from my 3PL, it takes about 10 to 14 days for it to go live in Amazon from sending it to my warehouse. So it's not really that bad. You could pretty much time this. It's going to take a lot more management, but it's something that you will be able to handle. If you have any questions regarding the new storage type limits, just let me know in the comment section below. I read all the comments, so I'll get back to you. This is good for beginners because now you can send in 1,000 units for each of the 4 categories, and you're not restricted to the 200 inventory limit for new products. Like for instance, if you had to send in 200 units to Amazon and send the rest to your 3PL, you won't have to go crazy trying to figure out how to manage your inventory and drip feed it into Amazon while you're learning all this for the first time and while you're doing this for the first time. So you won't be overwhelmed. And now you can do one product of 1,000 units, or you can do 2 products of 500 units each within the same category, or you can do 4 categories. If you want to launch 4 products, 1 in each category, you can do 1,000 units for each of the 4 categories. And 1,000 units is way more than you'll ever need to send it to Amazon for your first product launch without ever going out of stock, and it'll be really easy for you to manage your inventory this way. Experienced sellers. I know this is bad for us, but I think once we learn to manage our inventory to get around this, I think we will be okay. I'm sure our limits will go up to the storage needs that we need in the future, just like it did last year. We just have to give it some time to let the new algorithm kick in. So what can we do? Our slow moving products, we could, 1, lower the price in them and lower the margins to push them out faster and to sell them out quicker to avoid the long-term storage fees and just to free up space for us for our other products that we want to send in. Or 2, which is our last resort, we could do a removal order on our slow products, send them either to our homes or to a 3PL warehouse, and then just drip feed it in as we need to, as we always did since last year or so. It's always best to try to sell out your products before doing a removal order. A removal order should always be your last resort. A lot of times removal orders can be messy. I've never done it myself, but from what I've heard from other sellers and friends and my 3PL warehouse, they say that when you do a big removal order, they get sent out at different times, and a lot of times they dispose the cartons and send out the products individually and send them out sporadically at different times. So maybe a few of your products will send out 1 week, and then a month later, and then 3 months later, and then 4 months later. And sometimes it could take up to 6 months to fulfill a full removal order. So that should be your last resort. But if you have to and you cannot sell your products out, then you have to think about what's the best option for you to make the most income and just be able to send in your other products. So that's just the other option out there for you. How much inventory to send into Amazon? We will probably have to send 1 month's worth of inventory into Amazon and the rest to our 3PL and drip feed it in as Amazon allows us, and strategically planning to send in more of the units of the products that perform well over the others. And I'm sure that the new limits will start to rise again as a new algorithm kicks in, just like it did last year. And then we could start sending in 2 to 3 months worth of inventory of our really good, well-performing products. I think sending 1 or 2 months of inventory is good because it lowers the risk of us having to have products not move and less chances of us having long-term storage fees and all that stuff. So having to do removal orders or disposals of our products that just sit there. And this will also be good for our IPI score. So I think this will help both us and Amazon together as we learn to manage our inventory better. So what's my plan? I will ship 1 month's worth of inventory into Amazon and then 2 months worth of inventory into my 3PL warehouse and drip feed it into Amazon as Amazon allows it, similar to the 200 ASIN limit. For better performing products, I will send in 2 months worth of inventory into Amazon. And for new brands moving forward, I will create a new account. So in order to create a new account, you could create a new LLC, a new bank account, and a new address for that LLC, and then you should be able to make a new account. So that's something that I'm going to look into next. So this way, moving forward, I will have more storage than I need for new brands and new products. So 1,000, I could open up multiple accounts if I want to. So that's something that I wanted to do in the future anyway. And I guess this is a good thing because Amazon now is forcing me to do this. And one of the things that I want to do with Amazon is I want to build my brands up big enough so then I could eventually sell them for big bucks and exit. So by me having my different accounts right now, it's probably a really good thing for me to get started now. For my product that's doing half sales, I'm just gonna try to sell it as quickly as possible. So I'm probably going to lower the price and the margins to try to push it out quicker. Or I might just let it sell as is. It might take another 5 months, but until I need that extra storage space for my other products, I'm probably just going to leave it. And in worst case scenario, I will do a removal order and send the products to a 3PL warehouse and then drip feed it back into Amazon when I need it. I know that I can work around this by only sending in 1 month's worth of inventory into Amazon instead of 3, but eventually I'd like to have 2 months worth of inventory in Amazon at all times. Well, that's it. I really hope that Amazon changes the inventory limits back to last year's way, but if not, we just have to learn to adapt to the new changes. I really hope that you don't stress out about this. We will get through this like always. Amazon always changes things and we always get through it, so we'll get through it this time. But if you have any more questions regarding the storage limits or Amazon FBA in general, I have a Facebook group where we discuss everything Amazon FBA, so if you'd like to join, the link is in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you there. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share with all your friends and family, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week.